All right, y'all. It's time to talk about CM Punk and his release from AEW. It was made official this past Saturday on Labor Day weekend. All right, let's talk about it. First, let's start from the beginning when he first got into AEW, and then get it all the way leading up to recently, about a week and a half ago. All right, so about this time, 2 years ago, if y'all remember, he returned to pro wrestling 7 years later. It was like all emotional and stuff. It was like people crying in the crowd, and it was just all emotional. And then, so his first feud, month later, he feuds with MJF. The famous line from that promo was when CM Punk called MJF less famous Miz. That was so damn savage. And then MJF made fun of his UFC career, and he called him number two or second best in WWE to John Cena and Triple H. CM Punk in that promo had the best line, but overall, I thought MJF won that battle of insults on the mic that night. Then we fast forward to about January through March 2022 last year. It's a second feud with MJF. If you guys remember, it was a dog collar match, fantastic match between Punk and MJF. And then during that feud, everybody remembers that MJF picture when he was like a teenager or a kid, pretty much, with CM Punk. He was like at a autograph signing, and then yeah, so they ended in a dog collar match. And I think when Punk's the one, I think it was around February, and he brought the dog collar to the ring, and he's like, "Oh, will you be my Valentine?" Thought that was a great promo to set up or to announce the match for it. Fantastic feud. It was probably the best feud in AEW history, in my opinion. Don't see anything topping it, but you never know. All right, so we get to April and May 2022 of last year. His feud with Hangman Page. This is where all the problems started and pretty much began his demise out of AEW for CM Punk. So he's feuding with Hangman Page. Remember, he brought up that workers' rights problem and during the promo, and then he Adam Page says he wants to protect AEW from you, and then CM Punk was all like confused. He's like, "What are you so mad about, man?" And then a few weeks later, Adam Page is not even in the building, and CM Punk calls out Page, and it was pretty much like a shoot. Some people thought, I think it was because he wasn't even in the building, and CM Punk like wanted an apology or something. I can't remember what else he said. Just trying to remember off the top of my head. And then obviously last year we had the infamous brawl out, all out, whatever you want to call it. He beat Moxley in the main event at All Out, and MJF returns. And nobody was really talking about MJF returning because everybody was talking about the CM Punk Elite Brawl, bunch of legal stuff, investigation. Don't even get into detail about it. Everybody pretty much knows what happens. Well, what happened back then, and then he tore his triceps. I don't know if it was can't remember if it was during the brawl with the Elite or if he broke it during the main event versus Moxley. So that put him out until this year. He returned in June. And so, yeah, so that's been pretty much his time at AEW. All right, let me get to the rest of the video. All right. It's difficult for some fans to tell the truth about their favorite wrestlers because fans are always, when their favorite wrestlers get released, fans are always blaming somebody else for why that person got released. I'm pretty sure most CM Punk fans are going to blame the Elite for him getting released, even though he didn't get released after that fight with the Elite last year. He got released after a fight with, of all guys, Jungle Boy. Still can't believe that. All right, if you are a fan of somebody, you can't just take the good with them. You gotta take the bad with them too. Like you can't be like you can't be a fan of somebody and just see like the good with them. Like, so CM Punk's back in wrestling, you're excited. No, he's feuding with MJF. He's a world champion, all that stuff. You got to take the bad with him too. So when they mess up or they're in the wrong or whatever, got to tell the truth about them. Because a lot of fans ignore it and just push to the side. Yeah, so I'm pretty much a fan of CM Punk, but I gotta tell like it is. CM Punk had to go, man. He's just like a I don't know. He's like a miserable person backstage. It seems like because this is not the only time he's been getting fights at this company. He got in fights in WWE back in the day, and then he probably got fights in Ring of Honor and stuff. So yeah, he's pretty much just like he just starts beefs with all types of wrestlers and whatever company he's in. So yeah, CM Punk had to go. There was pretty much no other way around it. He's like banning guys from the building at Collision. He kicked out Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy got there, and then he was told, "Oh, you're not allowed in the building, whatever," and nobody told him why. And then Christopher Daniels, he's the head of relations, so he has to work with all the wrestlers. But because he's buddies with the Young Bucks and the Elite guys, he kicked them out too, or banned them from the building. Same thing with Matt Hardy. He's friends with him. And then Dolph Ziggler's brother, he tweeted out he called CM Punk like a soft wrestler, or like the softest wrestler in the world or something. And CM Punk like talked to him reportedly backstage, and like he's like, I'm trying to just calm. I don't want stuff to go explode again. He just wants stuff to calm down or whatever. So he squashed that. And then Jungle Boy, he so it was like a few weeks ago. It was either June or July. Jungle Boy wanted to use real glass or whatever, and then CM Punk found about this. He told Jungle Boy, "Oh, don't use real glass. Just use like fake glass, sugar glass or whatever it's called." And then Jungle Boy didn't want to, and then so that's where this issue came from. A lot of fans remember this from back in the day when Goldberg was a beast in his prime. He punched a limo. He was feuding with Scott Hall, he said, but he sliced his elbow or his arm, his artery in his elbow, and he used real glass and stuff. And it was just a terrible experience. Just saw a video of it and talking about it. So yeah, it was stupid of Goldberg. So why the hell would it be okay for Jungle Boy to do it? And then also CM Punk was pretty much the reason that AEW Collision was made because it was supposed to keep him and the Elite separate, like from interacting with each other, pretty much out of, like not on the same show. Like Elite was on Dynamite and CM Punk was on Collision. So that's pretty much how it was for like the last 2 months. And then I don't get that. Yeah, so he pretty much ran Collision Punk, and then I don't get it how the Elite, they're so in this guy's head that whoever's like associated with him or like buddies with the Elite, he just can't stand those guys, even though those guys were even in the fight with in the at the Brawl Out last year. Makes no sense. And then okay, oh, I should have had this uploaded. tonykhan statement. Just look for it. Just gotta find it. Hold on, y'all. Okay, right here. What the? Oh, it's like a message board. Okay, right here it is. All right. All Elite Wrestling. This came out on Saturday, Labor Day weekend. All Elite Wrestling AEW has terminated the wrestler and employment agreements between Phillip Brooks, CM Punk, and AEW with cause. Effective immediately, the termination was confirmed today by Tony Khan, CEO, General Manager, and Head Creative of AEW. The termination follows a week-long internal investigation of an incident occurring backstage at AEW, All in London on Sunday, August 27th. Following the investigation, the AEW Discipline Committee, I didn't even know there was a committee for AEW, and later convened with outside legal counsel before making a unanimous recommendation to Tony Khan and CM Punk be terminated with cause. Khan offered the following statement. Phil played an important role within AEW, and I thank him for his contributions. Termination of his AEW contracts with cause is ultimately my decision. in my decision alone. Of course, I wish I didn't have to share this news, which may come as a disappointment to many of our fans. Nevertheless, I am making the decision in the best interest of the many amazing people who make AEW possible every week, our talent, staff, venue operators, and many others whose efforts are unsung but essential to bringing our fans great shows on television and at arenas and stadiums throughout the world. I'm just gonna quickly find his promo from Collision on Saturday. My bad, y'all. I should have had this ready. No, this is a statement. Where's the promo? Hold on. Okay, so here's his what he said on Collision to open the show on Saturday. Today I had to make one of the toughest decisions of my professional career. Today I terminated Phil Brooks, CM Punk, for cause. This stems from a backstage incident at AEW All In last Sunday. The incident was regrettable and it endangered people backstage. That includes the production staff, the people who help put the show on every week, innocent people who had nothing to do with it. I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years. I've been producing them on this network for nearly 4 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt until last Sunday that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show. Hold on. At Wembley, so Wembley Stadium's like a big stadium, right? They got 80,000 people in there. Isn't there like security like pretty much everywhere in the building wherever you walk? Why was why wasn't like security there or whatever, like stop the fight or whatever, like right as soon as it started? I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. And then he says, I don't think anybody should feel that way at work. I don't think the people I work with should feel that way. And I had to make a very difficult choice today. It came at the recommendation of a discipline committee here in AEW, as well as outside legal counsel who delivered a unanimous recommendation. And I have followed up on that recommendation. I'm sorry to any fans who are upset by this. I'm sorry to anyone who's upset by this. Despite that, we're gonna have a great show tonight on Collision. We're gonna have a great all-out pay-per-view tomorrow in Chicago. Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week. AEW history. We're gonna continue the great momentum here tonight on Collision and tomorrow night all-out pay-per-view. Okay. Okay, so when CM Punk, when he first returned on Collision, like the middle of June, June 16th, 17th, like a week before that, he should have got CM Punk and the Elite like all in a room, just like put them all together and just tell them, you guys figure it out. Because you can't have this type of like hostility, man. You knew it was going to get worse. Eventually, somebody was going to get fired or get injured or something, or put up in the hospital. Doesn't make any sense. You should have had security there outside whatever room they were in case they fought again. And there was no point in telling these guys like beforehand for the meeting. Like if Tony Khan told the Young Bucks, "Oh, can you guys meet with CM Punk or whatever?" Because they can't stand him, so they would have said no. And the same thing with Punk, maybe, but he was willing to work with them to make money because there was money to be made in this feud. I don't know why they didn't do it. Just Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page don't like CM Punk ever since that incident now. But there was money to be made where it had the potential to be a bigger feud than and when CM Punk and MJF feuded because we had a real life fight. When you bring reality into a wrestling storyline, it's always gonna do big business like this. But yeah, so I thought that's pretty much what they should have done. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover for this. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on CM Punk being released. I think CM Punk should just I doubt that he's gonna go back to WWE. I don't see it, man. Those guys can't stand him there. Triple H and Vince, if they were in the press conference last year with him, they would have shut this whole thing down. All this crap wouldn't even happen, yo. Because Vince had to Vince handled Sean and Brett and Sean, man. And then yeah. So you tell me who couldn't handle this? He would have shut that down, man. And Tony Khan, even though we fired him, he's still he's still he's pretty much he's a boy, man. Let's just be real. He's not a man. Because because when wrestlers' contracts are running up and they don't know if they're gonna get extension or not, so the wrestlers go looking for them. I forgot what wrestler it was, Ring of Honor, Jonathan something. So his contract was coming up. So probably like a month or two before his contract was up, he was like looking for Tony Khan. He couldn't even get a meeting with the guy. So you're telling me Tony Khan's the boss and he can't even tell his wrestlers if he's gonna re-sign to extension? Like, come on, man. You gotta do better than that, man. You're the boss. What he should do is hire like an enforcer or like a messenger or somebody that can handle himself in a fight, or and just tell people that you're not gonna get re-signed and stuff. Because that's pretty much all you can do. Because Tony Khan's not gonna do it. So yeah, so that was pretty much it for my thoughts on CM Punk and all this whole situation getting released. Yeah, I think he's pretty much done with wrestling. All right, see ya. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe.